Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, but if you're new here, my name is Carla and I make videos about showing up for yourself. The goal of my channel is that I hope to encourage everybody to show up for themselves so that you can achieve whatever goal it is that you want to. If it's something like I did, like improving my mental health or losing over 180 pounds or losing weight in general, I hope that my videos can encourage you to show up for yourself and to do what you want to do and what you need to do in order to get to those goals. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 6 tips and the 6 areas in where I prioritized my time in order to lose 180 pounds. I'm going to leave a link up here if you've never seen any videos about me before and how I lost my overall weight and my overall weight loss journey. I'll leave that up here. I also have a playlist as well with all the different elements. But as I said, I lost 180 pounds. I lost that over a 14-month period, and I know that we as a people are extremely time poor, and you know, we have family members, we have partners, we have husbands, wives, children, we have work obligations, we have careers, we have college, school, volunteering, community work, whatever it might be. We have the shopping to do, we have chores, we have that thing that's, you know, broken in the house, and we have so many areas in which our time is being pulled and that we feel like we don't have time. And then if you add on something like wanting to achieve weight loss or wanting to achieve anything really, we feel like how can we throw something else into that? It seems like it's an immeasurable task to start going, I don't have the time to lose weight. Well, what I wanted to do with this video is share with you those 6 areas in which I prioritized my time, and some of them took more time and some of them took less time. So the first 4 are things that were something that you can do on a daily basis, and then the 2 last ones and the 2 final ones are things that took a little bit more time overall. Now, I understand that we are all time poor, and it might seem like, you know, like how am I going to even take the time to do any of these small things? And what I would suggest is, if you are like that, like me, whom I was at the very start of my journey going, I don't have time for this, I needed to do almost like a time audit to see where I was spending my time, and I needed to put in place these things in order to help me create a new routine that was going to bring me closer to my goal of losing weight, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for using our time efficiently and being time smart in order to get to our goal. And I did a time audit, so you know, instead of lying in bed at night, you know, watching something that I don't need to watch, I prioritized, and I'll get into all of this, but prioritized sleep so that I could wake up in the morning and I could get out for my walk at early before I started work, prioritizing myself over work. These are things I'm going to chat to you about. So it's doing a time audit. You can see like, okay, maybe I'm spending, you know, 15 minutes searching, you know, checking my social media first thing in the morning. And is that actually beneficial to me, or is that actually not that good for me? Something I was doing, and I realize now for me, I don't check social media until after I start work at 9 o'clock. Now, social media is my job, so it's a little bit different, but you know, you can do that on the commute or something like that, or you know, 10 minutes before you start work with a cup of coffee, as opposed to doing it in bed when you could be maybe going to the gym or going for a walk or something like that, or doing a meditation. So guys, I'm going to get into the video with the different areas that where I prioritized my time in order to lose 180 pounds. The first thing that I think is really important and really undervalued that I prioritized for myself when I was losing weight was drinking water. Your body actually needs water in order to lose weight. So by drinking water, what happens is when your body is using up the fat from your fat cells, it then fills those fat cells with water, and then eventually then when there's no fat that comes back into it, it releases that water. So you need water in order to lose weight. And I've noticed that anytime, it took me 14 months to lose 180 pounds. And I knew that any time that the scales didn't play ball with me is because I was not drinking enough water. If somebody says to me on my Instagram, HalfofCarla, I do a weigh-in Wednesday every Wednesday, and I know that a lot of people can be very disappointed by their results from week to week. And the one thing I always say to them is, how much water did you drink this week? And the majority of them said, not enough. The minimum that you need to be drinking is between 1.5 and 2 litres. 67 fluid ounces, so about 70 ounces of water that you need to drink per day. I know that this can be really challenging to do, but it's something that I prioritized. So for me, I drink coffee and I love coffee so much, and I would drink coffee all day long, except that's not very good for you, and I need to drink water, and I would drink coffee in replacement of water if I allowed myself. Number 2, again, not so obvious, but is sleep. As a human race, we're not getting as much sleep as our ancestors did. We're not recovering. Sleep is vital for recovery, it's vital for our brain function, and it's vital for weight loss for a number of reasons. But I know for me, especially as a new mom, that when you are tired, your body tends to crave sugar or carbohydrates and things that it needs in order to stay awake and to give you energy, quick hits of energy. So if you're not getting enough sleep, you're more likely to reach for sugary things such as sweets, cakes, whatever it might be, just to give you that quick hit of sugar so that you can survive. So I know that there are certain times that we cannot do it, but I started to prioritize sleep the whole way through my journey, and especially as a new mom. So it might seem ridiculous, but I actually go to bed not long after my son goes to bed, within an hour after he goes to bed, because I know that I'm going to need to wake up the next morning. I'm going to be doing my walking. That's a priority, and that's a time for me as well, which is not on the list, but kind of something that I think will come in at another point. But by giving myself a really good sleep hygiene, and I'm not perfect at it, definitely not, but I try not to have any devices on 15 minutes before I go to bed. I try and read or listen to a meditation as I'm going to sleep, and that really helps me. I'll leave a link down below to a meditation called Yoga, if I can link it, or at least I'll describe it down below. It's Yoga Nidra for sleep, and it's on the Insight Timer meditation app, and that was a game changer for me to sleep. It is a full body scan, and nearly by the end of it, 9 times out of 10, I am conked out before it finishes. So by doing that, I'm giving myself a better chance to not be starving the next day and not to be reaching for food that is not going to help me along my way in terms of both in maintenance and in weight loss as well. Number 3 then, a priority if you are looking to spend your time in somewhere that, or I was looking to spend my time and put my effort in, is calorie counting. And I know that it is disputed that people don't need to calorie count, but that is how I lost weight. But prioritizing calorie counting took out for me any guesswork. You cannot control the number that you get on the scales, the output number. However, what you can control is what you put into your body. So by being able to do that, I was in a better standing to ensure that I was going to be losing weight. Can't guarantee at what rate or how much weight, but I was at a better standing to know that I was going to be doing everything that I could, or prioritizing the things that I could do in order to help me and actually make my weight loss journey easier or simpler. So I used the calorie counting app, MyFitnessPal, the whole way through. And basically by recording what you're eating as you're eating it, or pre-recording it, what happens is you're very aware of what you're using your calories as a budget. And by prioritizing that and ensuring that I was doing that really helped me in order to get the best results that I could do. And always, as I did the Body Slims program, which is based on calories as well, and I love calories because they are universal, they're international. It is the standard of unit of measurement of energy for the food that you have, that you consume. So there's no kind of like, sins or points or any of that kind of stuff. Like, this is just international and everybody can speak the language of calories. So I did the Body Slims program, which uses calories. And one of the amazing things that Jared always says is that your calorie limit is a limit, not a target. Jared, who runs the program. I'll leave an interview I did with him up here if you guys would like to check that out. But your calories are a limit, not a target. You do not need to eat all of those. But by tracking my calories, I was in a really good standing. I was also then in a good standing for maintenance. So when I finished losing weight after a certain amount of time, then I'm able to eat intuitively now. I have a general idea how much I am eating on a daily basis. I've obviously increased my calories since I'm in maintenance, and I have been maintaining my weight now for the last 7 or 8 months. within my maintenance range. So by learning how to count calories, learning what calories are in things, and then if I need to do a reset, I can do one, you know, because I have that language. But by prioritizing counting calories and logging it as you gob it, really important. So making sure that you're counting those calories, that you're recording it as you're eating it, and not using guesswork. For me, that was a priority that I chose to do. I chose to spend my time doing that, and that helped me immeasurably because I lost 180 pounds in 14 months. So yeah, it worked. Number 4 in the smaller things, before we get into the bigger areas, but number 4 in the it's hard to say, but the smaller areas is meal planning. This is something that absolutely changed things for me. I had been a food addict, an emotional based eater, and the idea that I needed to come to a place of comfort, to know that, or a place of being okay with my discomfort, in knowing that my meal for the afternoon and evening, I intermittent fast and still do. So I'll leave a video up here about it. So I don't eat breakfast, but my lunch and dinner every single day was planned. And by doing that, it took out any emotional guesswork from food. So once a week, I would sit down, write down the days of the week, write down what we were going to have for lunch. And typically for lunch, I eat nearly exactly the same thing. So during the winter or colder months, I eat soup. During the warmer months, I eat salad, and it's nearly 7 days a week, it's exactly the same salad. And then the same for dinner. Then we would have like a range of foods very similar, that we would eat some kind of vegan protein, some kind of vegetable, and some kind of carbohydrate. That would be a very typical meal. Couple of things would go, you know, a bit more array, maybe a lentil dal or something like that I would make. But generally they would be kind of like, we would have like a menu that we would pick from almost in our heads. See whatever's in the freezer, whatever we need to use up, and meal plan. And then what would happen is that, you know, Wednesday night, you're kind of like not feeling great, you've had a bad day at work, things aren't going so well, you know, like you're a bit sad, something's happened, you've had a fight with somebody or whatever it might be, and you're like, oh God, I love a pizza. And I'm like, well, no, I already have in my fridge, I have the food that I bought, and I know that that's what I'm having tonight. And it just takes away that emotional trigger to go, okay, no, I'm gonna order the pizza. No, actually, I have the food in here, otherwise that's gonna be wasting food. I know it's gonna take me further away from my goal than closer to, so I'm just going to, you know what, I'm just gonna eat the food. And it takes away that, kind of helped me to see food a little bit less as see food as more of a fuel, less than an emotional based comfort. Now, in terms of the bigger things, there are 2 areas that I want to chat to you about that I allowed myself to prioritize my time for. We are time poor in this world, but these are the 2 biggest things that really, really helped me. The first one is my mental health. If you've been here for a long time, you'll know that I am a massive mental health or mental strength advocate, because you know, if we don't have our health, both our physical and our mental, we don't have anything. And I realized very late in I realized at the beginning of my journey, and my journey is a mental health journey first before a weight loss journey, that my weight and my excess weight was the result of my poor mental health. And that I didn't get to being 323.8 pounds by accident. I got there because I was escaping my feelings in my body. And thus I realized that I had to prioritize my time for my mental health in order to lose weight. And so I did. And I did that with a number of different ways. The first one is by attending therapy. I am in a position of privilege in which I was able to afford therapy. I did have to sacrifice other things in order to pay for that. So I used to do singing lessons. I had to sacrifice those singing lessons in order to pay for therapy. I had to sacrifice, you know, meals out and things like that, which was also very beneficial in the end, because I was about to start a weight loss journey, so it worked out really well. But I had to take money from other areas and take time from other areas in order to attend therapy and to work on my mental health. And therapy is, I'll leave a video up here linked if you guys would like to check out my therapy journey and how my mental health work changed everything for me. But Therapy is an amazing, amazing tool. And by making that time for therapy and to attend it, it was a game changer for me. I also really worked on my mental health. The second way is through journaling. So I used a tool called Morning Pages, and basically where you get a notebook, a blank notebook, and you write for 3 pages, unedited, anything, doesn't matter whether it's messy, doesn't matter whether it's all over the place, nobody's going to read it. The actual idea is that you never read it again, but it's just to allow a stream of conscious and a stream of flow, that was whatever's going on in your head, to come out onto the page. And that is actually the trigger for my weight loss, my mental health, for everything for me. And then the third way that I helped to prioritize my mental health, which also really helped me as well in terms of weight loss, was walking. For me, walking is my therapy. And now, as well as therapy, but walking is game changing for me. I hated walking at the start of my journey. I hated it. And now, especially, like, I've had postnatal depression, and I have to say, like, I had emergency C-section, so I wasn't allowed to walk for a very long time after I had the surgery and had my baby. And all I wanted to do was get out to walk. All I wanted to do. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I'm out walking every single morning, 5-6 a.m. I am out, doesn't matter what the weather is, because I love it and I need it, and especially need it the days that I don't want to do it. Believe me, they are the days that I need it more than anything. Same with therapy, actually. Same with morning pages, actually. It's the days that we don't want to do those things that are the days that we actually find that they're most beneficial. The most significant place in which I had to prioritize my time was myself. And this might seem a bit strange, but I know for women, and any woman who's watching me, and I'm sure many men as well, we have a tendency to prioritize everybody else over ourselves. Our children, our partners, our wives, our husbands, our family. You know, we are the caregivers. We are, as Jared from Body Slims calls, the great givers of society. Women, we have a tendency to give above all else, and the last person on that list to give to is ourselves. I was terribly guilty of giving my time to everybody else and to work over myself. And I realized one day on my journey, literally I was walking one morning, and I lost my weight during the pandemic, and I was at the time a senior manager for a charity whom, let's just say, was having a very difficult time during the pandemic, as every other organization and charity was. And I had a very large team underneath me whom I needed to support, and it was very, very, very stressful. And I was out walking one morning, and I was about to turn back about a third of my way into my walk, because I was like, no, I can't spend time doing this. I need to go back and work and, you know, make sure that everything is. And then I realized, if I don't give to myself before I give to others, there'll be nothing of me. And from that moment on, I promised myself that I would prioritize myself over everybody else, that I would put my airbag on before I would do anybody else's. And that means that I will take my walk, I will take my time, I will find ways to manage my time in order to ensure that I have that walk, that I have something that is for myself. Whether I need to go to therapy, whatever it might be, I will prioritize that and myself and my mental health and my health over everybody else. And that is not being selfish. That is, I hate that in order to do something for yourself, we have to worry that we are being selfish, or we're afraid of the shame or the stigma of doing something for ourselves. We need to get over that. Whomever you are watching this now, I want you to know that it is okay to prioritize yourself and to put that effort into yourself, because you are worth that time. And as April Lauren says, you are worth the work. You are worth doing it. You are worth showing up for yourself on a daily basis and doing things and helping yourself to prioritize your time, because I know we're time poor, but you're worth it. You are worth finding that time for yourself. So prioritizing yourself over everything else might sound very controversial, it might sound very floofy, But when you start to do it, things magically change, and you actually become a better person, and you become a better person for those around you because you have a fuller cup. And I've done that over the last 3 years, and it has been game changing. It has been life changing for me, and I have a better relationship with my partner. I have a wonderful relationship with my family, my son, my friends. If I am not okay to do something, I'm perfectly okay to say to a friend, I'm sorry, I'm just not up for that at the moment. And they understand, they appreciate that, because I'm putting myself first as opposed to helping somebody else when I have an empty cup. Guys, that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys have really enjoyed it. I hope you've made it to the end. If you have, please leave me a sun emoji, because let's face it, I am battling the sun here all morning, but you know, this is like, it's Ireland and we never get sun, so I'm not going to be sad about it. It's also like -2 degrees outside. But anyway, those are the 6 ways in which I really prioritized my time. And I know that there are quite a broad spectrum of things there, but I hope that that really helped you guys and that it made sense for you. And please let me know down in the comments down below if there is anything that where you find that you could prioritize your time, or anywhere where you feel like you are lacking. If any of those any of my tips or any of those areas have resonated with you, please let me know down in the comments. Please make sure you are subscribed, guys. It really helps out my channel. Make sure you like this video, turn on the notifications so you never miss a video, and I'll be back with you very, very soon. Bye, guys.